Everybody, good morning. I hope you're doing well. This is Chris Proctor. If you're new to my feed, I want to talk today about perfection versus the reality of making progress in your health and fitness goals. So I think there's a lot of confusion with people, especially when they first start out on their journey, that like everything's got to be perfect. Like they have to do everything perfectly all the time. They have to weigh every single thing. They have to be working out 6 days a week, killing themselves, and doing everything perfectly all the time in order to make progress. And the reality is, guys, that's just not true. And it's also really not realistic for most of us, okay, for the average person. Yeah, you have those people out there who are like insanely committed. You know, they're doing every little thing right all the time. They're not taking days off. They don't miss sessions. That's great. And I think that's awesome that people can find that level of commitment. But I think for most of us, for the average person, that's not really realistic. But the last thing in the world I want to see happen is for somebody to, throw up their hands because they think, well, if I want to get healthier, it's got to be 100% or nothing, or it's got to be I'm all in or I'm doing nothing. That's not the case. And here's how I want to explain to you. I want you to think about it in terms of when you were in school. Okay, so if you think back to like high school or college, if you chose to go to college, think about it in terms of your grades. Okay, you didn't have to get a 95 or 100% in order to pass a class, right? You probably had these classes and stuff that you did really, really well in and came really easy. But if you're like me, you probably also had classes that you really struggled with and maybe working really hard just to get by. But the thing you got to realize, guys, is sometimes C plus is okay. All right. So if you think about a grade, grade averages, right? A C plus is usually about a 75%, right? Sometimes that's good enough, guys. And the way I want you to think about this is if you're working out and training hard 75% of the time during the week, while maybe that doesn't sound great to some people, 75% of 7 days is 5 days. So if you're training hard and focused 5 days a week, you're going to get results. Okay, even if you're doing it 4 days a week, you're going to get results. But I'm just using that 75% number. That's 5 days a week, guys. That's really, really good. And that's a lot more than most people are doing. When it comes to your nutrition, if you're eating the right things, if you're eating healthy, balanced meals 75% of the time, you're going to make progress. I guarantee it. I guarantee you will make progress eating healthy, making the right choices 75% of the time. So, I just really want people to realize that improving your health and fitness, getting to your goals, it's never all or nothing. It really isn't, and it doesn't have to be. And I'm not doing this video to encourage anybody to, half-ass their goals or to back off from what they're doing. If you're working out 5-6 days a week and being super strict and that's working for you, that's great. This video is really for those who are struggling to get started, and it's for those who are having a really hard time committing to a consistent long-term program, whether it be health, whether it be their training, whether it be their nutrition. You need to realize that 75% is plenty to make progress, guys. You can do this by training hard, by focusing, by making the right choices 75% of the time. That's more than enough for you to get to your goals, okay? I just want you to understand that you don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be all in 100% of the time. You really don't. I'm not perfect. I'm not. I eat pizza. I drink beer. But I am probably more than 75% of the time making the right choices. I am more than 75% of the time training. And that works for me. It's a good balance for me. It doesn't take away from other things I have to do. It doesn't take away from me building my personal training business. It doesn't take away from my family time. That works for me. And that's what the most important thing is, guys. And that's the overall message that I want you to understand is you don't have to be perfect. And there's a lot of space between perfection and what works for you that will get you to your results. Okay. So I just want you guys to understand that. So if you like what I have to say, please hit subscribe to my YouTube channel. Follow me on Instagram. My handle's at Chris Proctor Wellness. I have Chris Proctor Wellness Facebook page. It's free to follow. And if you have questions or if you're interested in learning more about my personal training services, my online program, or my in-person training, if you're local to me, please shoot me an email at chrisproctorwellness at gmail.com. Okay, I hope you all have a great Wednesday.